Hello there, friends, and welcome to Strangers in the Night, your source for late night VR gaming talk. I, of course, am your host, Wes. With me, as always, is my good friend Ruuts. Ruuts, the weekend is here, brother. Finally.
Yeah, finally, right? We needed it.
Yeah, it's been a long ass week. I don't know about you, but for me, I have been. It seems like it was been about 5 minutes since we were on the air Monday.
Yeah, it's crazy. Time is flying, and it's hot, as Wolvie was saying earlier. It's just hot in
Dude,
general.
it's so hot.
How's it hot as
Yeah,
it in
it's
Kentucky?
crazy. We've been 95, 96, 97.
Yeah, that's where we're about. Whereabouts we've been. But, it's funny. I was just thinking today, um, like my bathroom window in previous years never closed. Like I just would always leap in all summer long because it's so hot in my room. And it's never opens now because it's not hot in here anymore. I got this AC unit, and it was like the best investment because I don't even know what hot VR is, and that was like my biggest gripe of the summertime. Right? It's like I can't play VR in the summer, so it's a very
Yeah.
very blessed to be able to have it.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of, being able to work out of the home is it can be hot outside. I just don't go out there. You
Yeah,
know?
I'm not going out there, although I have to go out there. Oh, dude, I today, I was talking about wasps nests and stuff, and then I was at this lady's house, and I killed this. She had this little one, right, and she was taking me around, showing me spiders and all this stuff. She's like, "Yeah, I keep seeing wasps over there on that part of my patio. I don't know why." And I walked around the corner, and this thing was like the biggest nest I've ever seen, and I was like, it made me jump backwards, and so I got to live it in real time, and it was sketch. I'm not gonna lie. There was like, because this is the thing, that the chemical I use, the bomb, the fogger that's on the extendable pole, it's strong, but they're coming out full force, pissed off. Everybody's dying. Things are dropping, but the sketchy ones are the ones that can still take off flying, but they're like dazed, and
Flying sideways.
they don't know where they're going, and if they happen to land on me, that's when I get stung. And so I was just watching them flying all over. It was crazy. It was chaos, but I thought about the podcast and talking about it last time. It was cool. It was fun.
Bee Killer VR. That'll be the next big one, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. This is very this is a lot better than the VR version because there's like that element of threat and sketch. But yeah, it was cool. It was fun. It's what I live for. Those moments, right?
You know what I live for? Luke Ross mods.
Oh my god.
There's another one just dropped this past week, dude. It finally happened.
I know. Eric's dream, right? Uncharted. We're gonna get to play through Uncharted for the first time. Because you haven't played it, right? I've never played it, so.
So what it is it's the Uncharted. It's a collection.
4.
There's two games. Yeah. So there's the Uncharted 4, and then the one that came out after 4, the um, called Lost Legacy or something like that. I have played completely through 4. It was
What?
one of the it's
Or the
one of the last flat games that I played through before I got my PSVR.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a great game. It's a great
Is it
game,
gonna be worth
and
playing
I'm
in VR?
absolutely. And if I wanted to just give it, 3 hours and then go, we probably would be talking about it tonight. But this is a game that I don't know, it's something like 30 hours to beat it.
Oh wow.
So I'm not going to brush over it that way. You're just getting started at 3 hours. So we'll start playing it now, and I don't know if we'll I don't know if we'll cover it next Friday. We gotta do game of the month this week. So if we do game of the month on Friday, then maybe we talk about um, the Uncharted mod on Sunday,
Gives us
or
more time.
maybe we talk about the games on Friday and then do game of the month on Sunday. We'll see how it works out.
That's true. I mean, people really liked the game of the month on Sunday last time, right? So.
But
Or at
we
least,
didn't do it on Sunday last time. We did
oh,
it on
was it on
Friday last
Friday?
time. But
Okay, or was it the
yeah,
time before that? I know we've done it on a
but
Sunday.
people are digging the game of the month. We seem to be getting more and more views on that every time we do it. And the last one, I mean, it's something like 3,500, 4,000 views on it, which for us is a pretty big, video. Not the biggest one we've ever done by a long shot, but I mean, for stuff that we've done over the last couple of months, Game of the Month June was our biggest video.
Okay. So you said 30 hours. So I'm like, I'm starting to feel differently on certain games. I guess maybe it just depends on games and if they're really good and they're ones that I like. Like that Remnant 2, I've already got 22 hours into it and it just came out last week. And I mean, granted it's flat, but this is the beauty. It's Unreal Engine 5. And when you play it, it's co-op, 3-person co-op. When you play it, you're hosting it. Like they're whoever's world it is, you invite them in. And
Right.
there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to use the Unreal Engine mod on it and be able to play that game in VR. And it's just got so much depth, and it's the craziest. The bosses, like I've never played it. It is Dark Souls shooter. Like I said, Returnal was the Dark Souls of shooters. It's not. Like this, the bosses are just fucking ridiculous the way that they kill you, and it just, and the movement, the rolling, everything. It's amazing. It's an amazing game, and I can't wait to be able to play it in VR.
Cool, man. So when you say depth, do you mean is it grindy
No,
or
so
is it
like you're like, it's just depth as far as your characters, and you're like, so you got archetypes, and you can you're unlocking different perks, and you can actually get you get a second archetype. Like right now I'm a gunslinger, and then I just picked up the hunter, and so like I can pick up certain aspects of the hunter, like the best parts, and make it part of my build. And it's not grindy because it's what you would love. Very exploration. They reward you for exploring. Like they tell you to explore every single nook and cranny. And what's ironic about it is I just got their other game that's actually made for VR working, and we're going to be playing it this weekend, From Other Suns. Did you know they're actually the same developers that created Remnant 2 as well? Which I just found that out,
uh,
which is crazy.
that sounds right, but I'm not like super familiar with it. It's been a while. It's been a while since we talked about these old PCVR games.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's From Other Suns is that FTL type of game where you're on that spaceship and you're trying to get somewhere, and you're it's just really cool. Super fun. I don't know if you ever played it or not.
No, no, never played that one.
I think you would really like it. It's it's cool.
Cool.
So
You know what I think's cool? I think our friends in chat are
I
pretty
think they're cool.
cool. People like Mepper and Wolveraza. It's free VR real estate. It says, "Wake me up when Luke Ross tackles Titanfall 2."
Well, this is
Okay.
the thing. It, it's not just Luke Ross. It's everybody. I mean, they're hitting everything, and it's just becoming more and more prevalent, right? These AAA games in VR. And what was it? I was talking to somebody the other day. I think it might have even been when we were talking about Remnant 2, and I think it was Jim Hall, because he's been playing it with us. And I was saying it was going to be coming to VR, and maybe it was somebody else, but somebody was saying, "What are the devs going to do?" Like, and we've had that discussion, at least in PCVR world. Um, it's just a crazy time in VR.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it gets to the point where, well, I don't know how they'll feel about it because people have to buy the game to
Right.
play the mods. So we're sitting here saying like, what are the devs going to do? They're going to collect the money from people buying their games. If it if enough people you know
Well, I was thinking,
come to PCVR and start playing these things,
I was thinking
which
more
we're
like,
far from that point.
I was thinking more from the devs. Like, what are the devs that are building the games from the ground up that are, they're just not, you're looking at these two games, and one is just this super rich experience and gameplay, and the other one is not. And I think it could be a problem down the road, and that's a way down the road. And it's just some of these mods are done so well, outside of the purists that have to have hand tracking, or not hand tracking, but touch controls. Um, so
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a place for both. Like, I mean, sure, there's a lot more AAA games on the flat side right now than there are in VR, but there's something to be said for, a good built from the ground up native VR game. I mean, when it's done right, that's the best.
right,
So,
absolutely. And
you know,
something like Synapse, you can't. Um, the gameplay wise, the feel wise, you can't
yeah,
duplicate that with a dual shock controller.
absolutely. Hey, what's up, Alex?
What's
Alex
up?
up late, stopping by to say hello. What's up, Brandon? Destiny 11. Techno Glitches here. Um, Gabriel 004, the license to meow. Gamecat, what's up? What's up, Geisen? Good to see you.
Sprite says YouTube's going to send him more Wasp videos again. Probably.
Mickey Barrios is here. Yeah, of course. Of course it is. The AI's listening, always. What's up, Spry Guy?
Happy birthday.
Oh, shoot. Happy birthday. What's up, Mind Jive? Hello. Radio Runt has central air. He thinks he's better than you, Ruuts.
You think you're better than me? Radio Runt, man. Like, I wish I could. I guess I do have it. It's just down. This doesn't come up into my room very well. This is
Not
like the
enough,
one
right?
room. No, it's not. And I'm right above the garage. My thought is that there's no insulation above me or below me. You know what I mean? Like, there's probably this room is just not insulated around it for whatever reason. Everywhere else is. But it's all right. I got this nice unit in here, and everybody else can suck it. It's not as cool out there.
You know who else likes to suck it when you get out your nice unit?
My mom. Yes, she does. Bigger the better.
Sorry. I'm
Oh,
sorry. Yeah. It's just it was too perfect.
It just fit. You know who loves it when it fits? My mom. Oh yeah. Okay, we got it out of her system.
What's up, Assassin 32 VR? Let's see. What's up, Handy Capable Gamer? Hello. Rogue TR.
Someone wants to know if you're watching the fights this weekend.
Absolutely going to watch the fights this weekend. Dude, I'm ready for my Saturday. I've been so busy this week. So we're only doing 2 titles tonight because I just didn't have time to play 3. Basically, because I just didn't have time to play 3. So yeah, and you know what? My lawnmower, it's been broken, and I just got the parts in the day to fix it. So tomorrow, which is my one day where I don't have a show and I don't have to work, I'm going to be outside in the fucking 100-degree heat fixing my lawnmower and mowing the lawn. So when I'm done with that, you bet your ass I'll be watching the fights.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you may even have a beer. I don't know. Probably not.
I got some in there, man.
Nice and
I've
cool.
had a 12-pack sitting in there for about 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Drink it.
That's how it would be here. I don't drink it.
I keep it just in case, but we don't drink it very often.
There's those days, especially on a hot day, right? Like a really hot day, for whatever reason, you're already dehydrated. Let's have a beer. It's a good idea. But it does actually hit the spot a little bit better. So.
What's up, Scion? Good to see you. Let's see here. Scion showing up for a episode where we were talking about a PlayStation VR game and what is basically a Quest game, even though both of these games are on PC VR. And you know what? When I was playing the Room VR, I thought of Scion. I thought, you know what, Scion would probably like this game.
Yeah, except for he does, but what did he say last week? I think he said something like that those type of puzzles aren't his favorite. Like, I love those type of puzzles because, it's logic. Like the first puzzle in the game when I got to it this time, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this one. I liked it, and then I figured it out again and moved
You
on.
know what? And then I want to do the segment right now, but I mean, it's a high quality game. It stumped me a couple times. Um, eventually you figure it out, but it's uh, it's got a nice challenge to it. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, let's see. What's up, Wolveraza? What's up, Samson? 143VR, Mr. Lord Beavis, and Alakazam.
And Bluebell.
And that is
Bluebell came in at the
and
end.
Bluebell's our slider tonight.
Yeah, one of them.
Well, thanks for stopping by, Bluebell. Thanks for stopping by, Old Darth Grimrock. Yeah. So if I missed you, I apologize. Welcome. Thank you for staying up and hanging out. Ruuts. Let's talk some VR, and let's start off by talking about T for God. This game comes to us from Void Room, which I didn't know this. Ruuts apparently is at least acquainted with the show. I sent in a key request when T for God launched, which it launched this past week into full release on Steam and is also on Meta's App Lab. And I sent out a key request just to get a key, one key for us to share. And I did the whole spiel. I introduced myself and and asked for the key, and I got a reply back like, "Oh no, I know who you are. Of course you can have a key, and here's one for Ruuts and Eric too." So I was like, "Okay, great." So shout out to Void Room for sending us each keys for the for T for God, and this is interesting, Ruuts. Like we've known about this game for a long time. Like we've done multiple news segments on it throughout the development cycle of the game. It's a game that's been recommended to us time and time again by the likes of people like Paradise Decay and Gamertag VR, among others. Um, this game's reputation precedes it, so it was nice to finally get in there and check out what is essentially the finished product.
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely cool to get in there, and um, it was cool to get in there and see something that was, we've talked about Eye of the Temple many times, and how unique it is, and what it does, and how it's like one of a kind, and this has been out for like how many years, and it's not one of a kind apparently, because this is very, very similar to the Eye of the Temple, and I don't know, may actually be inspiration. I mean, I'd be interested to know from that developer if they had played this and was kind of inspired by it, because I just thought it was super cool the way that everything is done, and like it's even better than Eye of the Temple because you're running around, man. Like you're not stepping one step to the next step and move, like it's fucking chasing a robot. I wish I had a camera in my room. It probably looked so stupid because I was running in a circle trying to get this robot, man, and I don't know. It was just cool.
So, yeah, a lot to unpack there. First of all, what Ruuts is saying is correct. This is another game that's like Eye of the Temple in the fact that it has levels that are procedurally generated around your personal play space. So you set your boundary, the game takes that information and designs the levels of the game around that. So basically, it's designed as a room scale game that is supposed to make you feel like you have unlimited movement, while in fact it's just basically making you walk around uh, inside whatever space you give it. Bluebell with the $9.99 donation says, "Glad you guys started on time this time." Yeah, we start. I feel 15 minutes, perfect. That's right on time for us, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think she was.
You should count. You should count on 15 minutes like every time.
Absolutely. I think she's referring to the fact that she last time sat for like an hour, didn't know that
Mm,
the show was going.
that's right.
Um, that's just, I can't imagine. I've seen it
It
happen
was like
before to
2 hours. It was almost 2 hours.
well, we appreciate you chilling and waiting for the show. And she's like, this is like the worst Roots and Wes have ever been this late. And then nobody's
How awesome!
complaining.
How
Yeah.
awesome is Bluebell to just hang out and chill for hours, waiting on us to finally hit the button, when in fact we actually hit the button a long, long time ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, how awesome is the chat as well, the community, because she was just chilling, chatting with
Yeah,
everybody,
I know,
and
right?
probably wondering what everybody was talking about, you know.
But anyway, yeah. So this, while it does have this one thread in common with Eye of the Temple, this is a very different game than Eye of the Temple. This is a story-driven sci-fi shooter with some roguelike progression elements. And what's really the most unique thing about this game, Roots, isn't so much the level generation. The most unique thing about this game is you can pick right up front what kind of game you want this to be. Like like if you want a more action based game that doesn't have a whole lot of progression elements in it and is more of a, just a fast paced shooter type game, you can choose that. Or you can choose for it to be something that's more exploration focused. It's still a shooter, but it's more exploration focused. The game doesn't hold your hand as much. It leans into kind of like more of the roguelike progression type stuff. And on top of that, like I mean, it's letting you pick stuff even down to, okay, what do you want to happen when you die? Do you want the whole level to start over, or do you want to load from a save point, or do you want to load from the exact spot where you died? Like, it's very customizable to the type of gameplay that you enjoy. And I don't think I've ever seen another game that like approaches it like this.
I've never seen that, and I think one of them even was like you die and your game is over. Like you have one life type of thing. I just think we've always said options are good. But this is above and beyond. This is like completely changes your gameplay. And I was thinking the same thing because, some people don't want to explore or have a story. They just want to run around and kill stuff. You can do that. Or you can go deep. You can explore. You can do whatever you want. Super cool.
Yeah. So did you? So there's also an option for if you don't want to use the room scale, to use free locomotion. Like there's artificial locomotion options in the game. Um, so those of us who are lazy and don't like to walk around can sit down and play. How did you play it, Roots?
I played at room scale. This is the thing. I could play it with a joystick or locomotion. I just feel like you would be taking half of the game and just kind of throwing it away. You know what I mean? It's not that it wouldn't be a good game. It just what makes it kind of special to me is gone. You know what I mean? And so like I could see it. Like if you like literally can't walk, you could still play it. But other than that, I think you should probably play it room scale. I even played it in at one point in like the tiniest square I could make in my little room, and I was still able to do it. And it said it was the tiny section, or something when it tells you your thing. And you could have this. I mean, the room could be as big as. I mean, it's just crazy that because this is the future of VR in a sense. We talk about the cat walk, like a walking cat walk and all these different things to make you feel like you're actually walking. But if you have a big enough space and your game will redirect you in ways like this, but even more advanced 5 years from now, you'll just be walking around your whole room and it'll just be changing everything around you as you're going into a room and redirecting you back around and you'll never leave that area and you'll feel like you walked everywhere. I think at least for those that want to. And then if you want to be lazy, like we usually do. You got your locomotion, so win-win.
So I tried it both ways. Um, I started out playing it on Quest with the locomotion option, and I took it into my living room, which is the biggest play space in my house. But I didn't like move stuff from around the peripheral. Like I left the chairs in the room and left the end tables where they are, and I still had a spot that was probably about 10 feet long and like maybe 8 feet wide. So a pretty sizable play space, not huge, but like a medium sized play space. And what I found is it works a little bit differently than the Eye of the Temple. So Eye of the Temple, if you have an odd shaped play space, it's still using every inch of it. Like it'll put you up right up to your wall, and it doesn't matter, what the shape of your play space is. You can have some weird polygon shape, and it's still going to use every inch of it. T for God doesn't do that. What T for God does is it basically makes a rectangle, and it fits the biggest rectangle it can in the space that you give it. So even though I had like a fairly big space in there, it wasn't perfectly rectangular
Mm.
shaped. So there was a lot of my play space that it left unused. And at the end of it, I thought, well, you know what? There wasn't a whole lot of advantage of me playing in there because the rectangle it put me in is about the size of the play space in my bedroom here.
Mm.
Um, a small to medium sized play space I ended up playing in. Um, and it was cool at first, but again, the way this game tackles the room scale and the level generation is a little bit different than Eye of the Temple. So Eye of the Temple, the way it does it is it'll put you in these large open areas where you can see where you're going to be walking for the next 20 minutes. And it uses things like moving tiles on the floor and rolling barrels and this sort of thing. So you're taking a step forward, you're taking a step to the side, and then there's some kind of mechanism in the game that's moving you around. And it constantly, you know, unwittingly turns you without you really even thinking about it, and it keeps you in your play space that way. The way T for God does it is it's moving you through um, a bunch of different levels using using like elevators and platforms to move you in between sections, but the sections themselves are just corridors, and you're basically walking down you're walking down corridors that aren't perfectly straight. They're like S-shaped type things. It's like a bunch of S-shaped paths that are connected to one another. And what I found is that works pretty well for a larger play space, and it works in a smaller play space too. But it's not like Eye of the Temple where you don't notice that you're in a small play space. Like in T for God, if you're playing in a small play space, you notice it because you're pretty much walking in circles, and it feels like you're walking in circles. So while it was cool and a neat mechanic for me, after about 30 minutes or so of that, I was like, you know what, let's try the stick movement, because for what it's worth, the game is really cool. Like I didn't I like a game like Eye of the Temple. I think a lot of what it has going on for it is its movement system and the way it generates the levels. T for God, I think, is a good game with even without that. And I wanted to keep playing it, even though kind of walking in circles was starting to get old to me. So I switched over eventually, and went to the stick locomotion on Steam VR in my bedroom. And it's interesting, Roots, when you switch over to the stick locomotion, it's still the same type of levels, um, but the levels are pretty notably different because the way it happens is when you're not using the room scale, the game kind of expands out
Hmm.
to what the largest maximum size play space possible is. So the corridors are much wider, they're much longer. Some of the transition parts with the elevators and platforms are a bit more elaborate because there's more room. So the game actually changes a little
Hmm.
bit for the better, I feel like, when you're playing it with stick locomotion.
So either play it in a large play space or play it with stick locomotion, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think the game would be probably the best way to play it would be playing with room scale in a very large play space. But I just don't have that available to me here. So so the best for someone in my situation,
Hmm.
or at least me, was to play with the stick locomotion on. Now, other people are going to disagree with that because there's people out there that always play standing and want to walk around no matter what.
Right.
For those people, you're going to love this. But for me, someone who plays seated most of the time, um, I found using the artificial locomotion was best for me. And it's interesting because we make these comparisons to Eye of the Temple because they're doing similar things. I would say that the procedural level generation and room scale system is probably a little bit better in Eye of the Temple, but I think T for God's a way better game. Like I think this is a lot better game than Eye of the Temple because the story is so cool. The progression of it is there's a lot more depth to this game. Eye of the Temple is pretty straightforward what you're doing. There is no story. You're walking through it and doing a few simple physical actions
It's more of a puzzler,
to
right?
yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Kind
it's
of.
more of a puzzler. This
Yeah.
this is this is a shooter game that actually has a little bit of depth to it, and it's not easy, man. Like I didn't try the action version of the game, but playing the exploration version of the game, there's a lot you have to figure out on your own, and it isn't easy.
Yeah. No. It's so were there robots in yours? Um.
There were a lot of robots.
Okay. Yeah. No. Because I can't. I think I picked the exploration, but I can't remember now. But it definitely. I don't know. I'm impressed with it, and like you said, it's. I think it's better game in a sense. I enjoyed the Eye of the Temple, the exploration as far as like the adventure, the journey. But I would agree. There's more meat on this bone by far for sure.
Yeah, definitely more of a game here than Eye of the Temple. Um, let's talk a little bit about how the game looks, Roots, because I mean, it's fairly basic in terms of the type of graphics it has. I mean, this is about as basic as it gets, and a lot of developers that try to use this type of uh, art, it just doesn't work. Typically it looks bad in the headset. Um, I was surprised at just kind of how good this looks. I mean, this is basic. It looks a lot like the original budget cuts, or there was something else it kind of reminded me of. Um, but you know, it's kind of plain. When you're up close, like in corridors, there's not really any textures on the walls or anything like that. It's 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 when you look at things from a distance, like
Outside.
the few yeah, when you get outside and look at over over these vistas, there's some actually pretty good looking stuff in here, even though there's no high resolution textures or anything going on.
Yeah. No, I think it's beautiful. I like the art style. I like the way it looks. Um, it looks basic, but it's supposed to. You know what I mean? Like in a sense, I don't know. I can't explain how. It just looks really cool. And some of the things going on up in the sky like that, those were pretty cool too, right? Like the explosions or like that ship getting shot down and uh,
Yeah, it's got this sci-fi weirdness to it. The whole game kind of puts off of a certain vibe, um, and I feel like the art style kind of plays into that a little bit. Like this developer took what is a detriment to a lot of studios and turned it around and made it into a positive just because of the style and vibe of the game. It kind of works for it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like it. It's definitely
What's up?
oh, go ahead.
Eric's joining us, as is Gamertag VR. What's up, fellas? Thanks for
Yeah,
stopping
Alex
by.
VR was here. Now we just need Skiva and Bradley, and we're good to go. Right? Got the show, whole show here.
Show for sure. CruCast
Mhm.
Friday. Um, yeah, I mean, Science says it looks like Paper Beast style. Paper Beast is a lot sharper than this, and definitely has more detail. Like Paper Beast is actually very pretty in the headset. This just looks cool. You know what I mean? This just has a cool look to it in the headset, and um, and I think a lot of kind of the immersion is actually um, built from the audio design. Like the soundtrack is really cool, and the sound effects in the game, it really does. It does more even than the art does for kind of immersing you and making you feel present in this world.
Yeah, I mean, just the directional audio, right? Like you can hear robots first before you see them in some of those corridors, and yeah, that's when I started chasing that one. And I hadn't, my gun wasn't fixed, so I just started to have it smack it with my gun or my fist, and that was cool too.
What do you think about the variety of guns that you can get in this game? I don't know how many you found, but I mean there was a lot of different ones that I found just by killing enemies and picking up the weapons that they dropped.
Yeah, yeah, there's definitely a good variety. I did not find too many, but I think there's, at least from what I've seen, uh, quite a few. How many did you find?
Oh, I don't know. Probably I don't know. I want to say 8 or 10 different weapons that I found.
Damn, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good. That's a better than most games when it comes to variety. So
Yeah, and I didn't come anywhere near playing through this thing. Like I put, maybe a couple hours into it, but I did. I felt like I was just getting started in it. Like I feel like there's a lot of game left here that I haven't gotten to. Um,
I'm kind of glad we waited
you
to play now for when it was actually finished, right? Versus, you know, uh, they've been working on it, right?
yeah. Did you ever figure out how to read the maps in this? That's the most
No,
difficult thing for me. Like the map is hard to figure out, and it's by design.
you can. I mean, it's cool. I just don't know what the hell's going on. There's all sorts of symbols and lines, and um, it'd be nice though
Yep.
because like
I,
as I'm running around those corridors, that you get turned around. I mean, you're literally like you said, going in circles, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Where the hell am I?" Uh,
Yeah, I got a tip when I got killed once. I got a tip that give you a little information about the map. You have to use those little signs on the door to kind of figure out where you're going. So the
okay.
way that works is the levels are broken down into nodes and they're connected up by the corridors. But it doesn't read like a flat map where you go left and left on the map is left in real life. You have to kind of figure out which path is which path on the map by kind of matching up the things that you're seeing on those little signs with the things that you see on the
Hmm.
map. So it isn't exactly easy to do because a lot of those little signs look exactly the same. But when you get close to something, um, like something notable on the map, and you start to see it on the door, then at that point you can tell which way to go and make it on out. Um, but again, that's just part of the challenge. And I bet if we had picked the other gameplay style, it probably would have told us a lot more about how to use the map.
Yeah, probably. That's kind of interesting, right? Are you tempted to play any of the other ways, even the like the action way,
Uh,
or
I thought, I thought maybe I should have started that way and just to get the tutorials and learn a little bit about the game. before I started playing it the other way, because I want the more enemies, I want the exploration and that sort of thing. But it would have been nice to know how to read the map and navigate, instead of just trying to. I felt like a lot of it, I was just kind of fumbling my way through, and I found myself going in circles quite a bit.
Literally.
Literally, literally going in
That's
circles.
funny.
But no, man, it was a pretty good game. Again, very interesting, kind of a one of a kind. So if you're someone who likes room scale, if you're someone who likes weird sci-fi shooters, you might want to give this one a look, because don't be deceived by the art style. This is actually a pretty high quality title.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the
Trying
cost
to
on
see.
it? Do we know?
That's what I'm looking up right
Okay.
now. I have no idea what it costs. So give me just a moment and I'll find out. Yeah, yeah. If you want to watch on Friday, GT, you got to stay up. That's just how it is.
Unfortunately. But
It's
this
not
is,
strangers in the midday.
yeah, and you can feel good because I'll be tired with anybody that's watching because I got to get up in 5 hours and go spray 2 McDonald's. I don't know
We're
why
all
I got to be
tired,
so
Roots.
early, bro. Like, that's so crazy. Just McDonald's, man.
$20. $20 for this game. Um, it depends on how long it is. Like I feel like $20 is probably going to be fair for it because I've already got a couple hours in it, and and it feels like I'm just scratching the surface. If
Right.
this was like going to be a 4 hour game or something, I'd say well maybe 15 would be a bit of a better price for it. But I feel like it's going to be a lot more than that. So $20 is probably going to turn out to be just about where this thing should be.
Yeah.
It's got 31 ratings on the Quest store. Every one of them 5 stars.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn. What's the,
yeah.
let me look it up
People
on
are raving
Steam.
about the gameplay. People raving about the atmosphere. Um, yeah, everyone basically saying what we just said. That it's really good in pretty much every way.
It's 18 reviews, 94% positive
And that's
for
not
Steam.
bad, bro.
Yeah.
More people need to play it. Obviously, I mean that's not a lot of people must know about this game
Now,
because
Spiffy Fox has 9.8 hours, as well as Beer Done has 8.2 hours. So I have to think, and somebody else has 11.6 hours. Somebody has 20. So, I mean, I would imagine that this game is not, I mean, granted, they could be going back in and playing, but I mean, um,
10 to 20 hour game,
yeah.
$20. Yeah, I'd say it's worth that all day long.
And there is a warning, though. I do have a disclaimer from Maximum James on the Steam. He says, do not play this game while listening to Tool at the same time. I don't know why, but he said it's a really good game, but do not listen to Tool at the same time.
Okay,
Yeah.
that kind of sucks, but
Well, maybe you
take your
just get
word for it.
lost in it, you know?
Actually, I think Tool would kind of fit with it,
I
right?
think so too. I now I'm questioning his soul. I wish he explained that little quip.
No, but we mentioned at the top this game has been in development, from a one man team for a very very long time, and you can tell it like it's very polished, right? So like the game's limitations don't hold it back at all. Like it's just a good game, and it just goes to show that you don't need to make something that you have to have a 3080 to run for a game to be good. You can make a good game on any specs if you are a good game designer and take the time to polish it up.
Right? Case in point, Mario Odyssey. That's 720p. Probably one of the best games I've played in a long time. So
You gonna start buying amiibos, Roots?
no,
You know what
I
amiibos
don't
are?
know. Well, this is the thing. If I could find, they do give you an advantage sometimes, like in the Zelda games and stuff. But I don't have a, I don't know how you, I don't have any way to. How do you bring them into your Switch? I guess the Switch you just put it on front. I don't have a Switch, so
Yeah, you just hold it up to it.
yeah. Kids love that though. But it is cool. I know, like in one, I think Breath of the Wild, my son had a Zelda, a Link, and he got like a horse and stuff. So that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah, we've got some of the amiibos. In fact, we had some for Mario Odyssey specifically. When Mario Odyssey came out, they they had a Super Mario cereal,
Oh,
like a
really?
breakfast cereal, and then for a while they were embedding amiibos, a special Mario amiibo, into the box.
Really?
And I have the Mario cereal box amiibo.
Oh, wow. I want it. I want an amiibo now. Damn it, Wes.
Yeah, you can't have our cereal box amiibos, bro. You can't buy
those
those anymore.
those are special.
They're special.
They're special.
Anyway, T for God special, and everyone should check it out. These are the type of games that we're here to promote. Like we're trying to help get the word out about these smaller indie games, because this is a good game, and people shouldn't just judge it by what it looks like. It does a lot of things here that other games aren't doing, and if you're looking for something unique to play, something that's quality, something that's fun, then you should check it out.
Yeah. And there's only one other game that I know of that redirects you like this. And this is the way that this one does it is even more unique in a sense, like I said, with just the scope of where you're walking, at least in a bigger play
Well,
space.
the fact that you're walking, like the other one is that you're taking a step here and a step there. In this game, you're just walking around, like you're just walking.
And I was literally running, Wes. I wasn't joking. I was chasing that fucking robot and I was running around these things trying to catch it, and I was not paying attention to anything except for the game, and I didn't run into any walls. I didn't even come close because the game does such a good job of redirecting you. So it was cool.
Yeah, go buy it, people. $20, available now on MetaQuest and Steam VR. All right, so moving along, the other game we played this week is an old game that we played and covered a long time ago on this channel, The Room VR: A Dark Matter. Um, this game came to PSVR. Was it yesterday? I think it dropped yesterday. Um, of course, we were provided a key from the developer. We'd like to thank the studio for providing us with a review key. So this game came to PSVR2 this week. This is a game that was already out on PSVR 1. People who already owned it on PSVR 1 got a free upgrade, which I thought was pretty cool. And it's been out on, I think it's out on every platform. I think it's out on Quest, it's out on Steam. This is just basically bringing, bringing PSVR 2 in line with all the other platforms. It's interesting, Roots, because when you talk about like these ports coming into PSVR 2, we're often talking about, new features, um, taking advantage of the special things that PSVR 2 can do. And kind of that's what makes these games worth going back into. Well, this doesn't really do much of that. Like, I mean, it does a little bit. Like, you can feel the adaptive triggers when you're selecting menu items and things like this. Um, the rumble's a little bit more advanced. The haptics are a little bit better in it. But all in all, this is pretty much the same game we played on PCVR 2 or 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So much so that's, I mean, Dee was so excited that because she loves this game. She's like excited to play through it now on PlayStation VR2, and kind of said like what you said. She stopped at some point. Now she wants to play through the whole thing. Um, this I felt like I was telling her, like as I was doing different puzzles and stuff, and there was a point where I stopped, and she's like, oh, I would have gone further, and I said, I've already played through the most of the game. You know, I at some point I will, but like it's the same game. It's just a better version of it. It just looks better. And I think if they had charged money for the upgrade, then we might be having a different discussion. I mean, this is free for anybody that already owned it, and
Right.
now it's one of the best puzzle games in VR. It's so good. Like my dad, when I gave him the Quest 2 for Father's Day last year, I recommended this game. I recommended a few other games, but this is the only one that he was like, man, this, you were right. This is like one of the best games I've played in VR, because it is. It's one of the best, probably one of the best, if not the best puzzle game that I've played for me in VR. Now everybody's got their different tastes for puzzle games, but it's just really good.
It's certainly up there with regards to escape room.
The best
The
escape
highest
room.
quality escape room puzzler in VR.
Yeah, yeah.
I struggle to think of a better one.
No, yeah, and I guess that'd be more of a better way of putting it, because there's puzzle games is a little bit more general, and this is exactly it. So if you've ever been to an escape room in real life, it's very similar to this type of thing. Although this has got, more of a story around it, I guess. So
So, while it doesn't specifically like utilize things like the eye tracking and the adaptive triggers and stuff all that much, you do get a little bit of a bump just from the fact that you're on that uh, OLED panel, making everything look a little bit more beautiful. You got a little bit more field of view than you had on the last gen headsets, so it is a little bit better of an experience. Um, but I mean, it didn't really need to get better. They just needed to pretty much stay on par with what they had before,
right.
and they did that. And here's the cool thing: like, I really enjoyed this game before we covered it right here on the channel. I even streamed my gameplay of it, if I remember correctly. But I never finished it, Roots. I never had the opportunity to finish it. As often is the case, I play pretty far into a game on a stream, and then the next week comes and we're on to the next game, and I never quite get back to it. And that was the story with this. So here we stand, some 2 or 3 years later, and I've been playing this game on my own. What I've done is I've played through exactly to the point where I stopped last time. And here we sit with, I think, 3 out of the 4 rooms solved, and one that I've never touched before that I have no idea what's going to happen in it. And I thought that it might be pretty cool to pick up the where I left the last
Mm.
stream off and play that last level right here live tonight with people.
Yeah, it's
What do you
perfect.
think?
People are going to get to watch you problem solving in real time, right?
They're gonna watch me get stumped and embarrass myself. What's gonna happen?
Well, I'll tell you what. It's a good thing it's you and not me, because you got a significantly better chance of not getting stumped in a puzzle than me. That's super cool, and I think it's going to be exciting. Now, obviously, it's the last level, and Wes and I had a little discussion about this before the show. Spoilers and all. So, I mean, my thought is it's been 4 or 5 years, and you probably should have already played through the game. But maybe you just got into VR, and you really don't want to have it spoiled. So this would be about the time to get ready to check out, right? Because Wes is gonna. Oh wait, I guess now's not the time, right? We got to do a giveaway first. Are we doing that first, or do we want to do that after?
Well, I mean, I was going to just draw on Sunday,
Oh well, or we're gonna do it
but
on Sunday. That probably would be
no, I was
easier.
going. No, I thought. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I've got two keys, right? I've got an NA key and I've got an EU key,
Hmm.
and I thought we would just do the. Well, I didn't know though.
But I put Wes in
If
a
I had
pickle.
to, if yeah, if I had two, I would just do one and one, two of the same
Right.
thing. I would just give away one now to the chat and give away the other one on Sunday.
I heard Eric
But I
was going to
don't.
give away 2 extra copies, right? So that we could get. No, just
Right.
kidding.
All right. So since you said it, Roots, I guess what we'll do is we'll give away one now, and then we'll draw one on Sunday. So whoever wins in the chat will get their pick, PSVR2 North America or EU, and then whichever one we have left over, we'll draw for that one on Sunday. How about that?
Yeah, that's a good idea. And if you just I guess cross fingers if you don't win, that it's somebody that is opposite of where you live. Right?
Right, right. I figure most of the people in the chat are probably going to be North America, although our friend Gamertag is here. So
Could be. Yeah, I don't think he's going to roll for it, but somebody else has got to be out there as well, right?
yeah, absolutely. All right. So let's see here. We got to come up with a question to ask the chat. A trivia question, Roots. Something to keep us from having to um just drop the key in the chat and let people fight for it. So the way this works is I'm going to ask a trivia question. The first person to answer it on my screen will win a key for the Room VR. Um, but we'll have to find out what region that they want right here tonight, so that we can properly draw for the other one. People can know whether or not they should enter or not. All right, so yeah, congrats, GT. GT just crossed 50K. Roots, he's 50,000 subscribers.
It's crazy, man. Why are you not at 100 is my question, because your content is definitely 100K worthy. That's where you're heading next. That's why I'm putting it out there now.
All right, so I'm going to just verify my answers here before I ask this question. So bear with me just a minute.
Oh, Chatty doesn't have a PSVR2. We're safe. I don't think Tech does either. Didn't Tech take his back? Or maybe he still does.
Heck, will still probably try to win the
Oh,
game.
GT says, "Oh, I'm playing for sure. He's ready." All right. Well, I'm pulling for you, GT.
Now, GT should be able to answer this question because he knows everything. All right. So here's the question. Again, first person to answer the question in the chat on my screen will win their choice of an NA key for this or an EU key for the Room VR Dark Matter. So here's the question. This game, the Room VR A Dark Matter, is developed by Fireproof Studios. First person to name the country that Fireproof Studios is located in will win a copy of the game. And go.
It's a trick question. No, it's not. But
We're going to see what the Room VR is. Gamer tag, Don Mega. Do you need a key, GT? GT technically is the winner. If GT wants the key, he might want to give it out to his community. GT was the winner, and I told you he would know the answer.
Old Darth says London.
London is the country. That's right, old Darth. Good job. All right, so GT says pass it on. So that means Don Mega, you are the winner. So now, Don Mega, answer this question. Do you want a North America key or an EU key?
Uh-oh.
So as soon as we figure this out, then we'll be good to go.
I have a dilemma, Wes, because now that the Quest Pro, you know, like you were talking about a bigger field of view. Like when you put that, I don't know, when you tried the Quest Pro, did you ever like tilt it to where you can like get it to where it's kind of almost like a yarmulke at the top of your back of your head, and it's really the angle. I mean, the field of view. I mean, it does give you like 15-20% more almost. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've only used it a couple times, but I will say this: the field of view on the Quest 2 is shit. Like it's bad, dude. It's really bad. So yeah, almost anything is a
Better than it.
noticeable improvement over that. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like binoculars now when I try to put my Quest 2 on. Although, I mean, the display, I will say, even though I love the clearness of the Quest Pro, it's amazing. But the Quest 2 still looks really good. Like I think we're almost at the point where you're just not going to have a really bad headset very much longer out there. So
Okay, so a couple things. Don, hit me up on Discord. There's an invitation link to our Discord down there, down in the description, and we'll get you your key. Don chose the EU key, so we still have a North America key for the Room VR on PSVR2 to give away. So the way that you can enter to win that is by leaving a comment in the in the comments down below that says that you would like to enter the giveaway. And what we're going to do is we're going to come back here in about a day and a half on Virtual Strangers. Is it 195? I think it's 195, maybe 196. I think it's 195. We're going to come back on Sunday and draw the winner. So only less than 2 days before we give the other one away, and that way everyone has a day to watch the video and enter the contest, and everyone has a chance, right?
yep, absolutely. Cool.
What's up, Show Futuristic joining us. GT said I normally went with, or I nearly went with Poland, which would have been a good guess because normally when you're talking about a beautiful VR game with high production value, normally it's from Poland.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's
Anyway,
saying that Don's
again,
gonna love the game. I think you will, unless you hate
yeah,
puzzle games. So
yeah. If you hate puzzle games, you're probably not going to dig it.
you're
But
probably not gonna dig it.
if you like any puzzle games at all, you'll probably like this one. It's very high quality.
Yeah, the environments are amazing, and it's just a good game. I mean, if you look at the Quest 2 reviews, it's like there's just so many of them, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot. I mean, this was a popular escape room title outside of VR. This is just their VR entry from a
Oh
long
yeah,
line of these games.
yeah.
So
Dee's got them all.
yeah, that was that right? Yeah,
Yeah, she hasn't
that's
played
cool.
through them all. She's played through a couple of them. She's still working her way through them, but
All right. So I'm gonna let you just kind of converse with the chat here for about 5 minutes while I get my PlayStation VR turned on and set up, switch over my microphone and my headphones, and we'll switch over to some gameplay here in just a minute.
okay, cool. Old Darth
Be
says,
right back.
okay, AJ will love the room. AJ hasn't played this.
I'm sure he has. In
Okay.
fact, I know he has.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I
I'll
do.
be right back, ladies and gents.
Okay. I agree. Black Market Honey says it's a mixture of Sherlock Holmes and Indiana Jones. And I don't know. I just felt I like the different varying environments as well. I know Cyan says that the puzzles weren't particularly his cup of tea. He likes different type of puzzles. I enjoyed them, and I enjoyed just the way that everything progressed. So, although I probably need to go into the PlayStation version more and play more. My focus was more on T for God this week because I've already played this game. But what I did go into and play was reminded me why I love this game. Super cool. Oh, come on, Cyan. Now you're just like spitting in that. Okay, so you think the story was okay for you as well? So, but what did you like? You liked Mist? Mist didn't even really have a story. Well, I did. You just had to read it. I'm just not big on reading stories. Although if I was going to read a story in VR, or I'd rather read one in VR over a movie. I'm just not going to read um, movies. It is not on par with Red Matter 2, although the graphics are really good, old Darth. I mean, Red Matter 2 is just like next level, but the graphics, I would say, I mean, they're above average. Really good. Definitely not something that you're going to go into and think, oh man, this looks like crap. Actually, I was really even just impressed with the opening title screen. I think it's London, like the police station or something. Super cool. Yeah, but I think it like Wes said, it's not even arguably. It's just the best escape room in VR, period. And it's one of the better puzzle games. So 7 a.m. gymnastics. Is that where you left to go to gymnastics, GT? I can read you a story. Yes, I'll read you a bedtime story. I don't have a story to read though, GT. I was saying earlier that I think Mash Daddy Cool needs to buy a couple copies of this game for some people because, like, he hasn't really helped or supported the devs enough with the first 10 copies he bought. Yeah, so and the I don't know. See, that display on that Quest Pro is so good. The pancake lenses and so clear that it's for some games. I'm like going back because I have this flawless tracking and I've got this really amazing display. And so what I'm missing is haptics and adaptive triggers. And then so now I have this conversation in my head, or discussion of like, what am I like, which makes it a better platform, right? Which is more immersive? And I guess it depends game to game, right? Something like Synapse, you just couldn't do it. Doesn't matter how good it looks on the Quest Pro. It's just never going to feel that way because it's just not built around the eye tracking on that. So, but I guess best of both worlds, right? So, always going to the gym for back day. Oh, I gotcha. Well, GT, I don't know, man. I don't like working out the back. Like, I'm like one of those people that just do the arms and that's enough, right? And then have chicken legs. No, I was giving Mash. I was giving Mash a hard time on that one. I told him I already returned it. I don't think I am going to return it. And this is why. Because I really like the controllers. So if I got to return it, I have to return. I got to rebuy the controllers again. And so now I bought the controllers to return them, to buy the headset, to return the headset, to get another headset, to return it, to get the controllers. And now just saying that makes me confused. And so like I love the controllers and that display is so good. And I don't know that the Quest 3, even though it'll have a better processor and it'll have pancake lenses, but they're not going to be QLED and they're not going to have the dimming, right? The local dimming in it. And so it's not going to look as good. It's kind of like the same argument that Wes would make earlier or a year or two ago about playing PCVR on the Quest 1 over the Quest 2. Even though the Quest 2 was a better display, the Quest 1 looked better for certain games, for darks and colors popping, right? Well, that's the Quest Pro. And so you're going to have the LCD versus for that. And even though they're both pancake lenses, I don't know that the Quest 3 will look as good color wise. So that's the debate, and that, I guess, kind of Mash was saying the same thing, or at least agreeing in the sense that we both believe that the Quest Pro probably will look better on the for PCVR. Now, the compression might not be as sharp, I guess. I don't know. It just depends on how the processor works for all that, right? So, but I am enjoying it. I mean, that there is part of me that thought about returning. It's $1,000. You know, it's like, okay, you know. Then I just got finished saying the Quest 2's display looks really good. It still looks really sharp. Not as sharp, but still looks good. The only thing I like over the Quest 2 over the Quest Pro is probably comfort, because to get the best field of view, you just have to wear it in a somewhat awkward way. I need to get the strap that Mash was talking about. So, I would say Quest Pro. Like, even when I went into the Room VR, like, the first thing I noticed, I was telling D, and I was looking around, and I was like, wow, this looks really good. And I turned and I looked into the fog, and I saw that fucking fishnet, or what, that stocking, or whatever people say, that the Mura that you see that just looks like there's a cheesecloth over the thing. And you don't see it much, but like, that display is just so clear. The pancake lenses for the Quest Pro, they just look so good. I haven't seen a display that looks that clear, but it's not all about the display. I mean, the PlayStation VR2, the whole package, the haptics, the adaptive triggers, that adds so much. And so, like, it's but if I had to say, if which one would I prefer, if somebody said, would you rather have the pancake lenses from the Quest Pro and the PSVR2, I'd probably brick, dude. I'm like, hell yeah, dude, get that shit in there now. Although you're talking about OLED versus QLED, and the without the local dimming, it's not going to look as good. The colors aren't going to pop. The colors definitely pop better on the PlayStation VR2, hands down. So 100%. But yeah, it's not a competition at the end of the day. Absolutely. And that's the thing people have to remember. Everybody thinks it's a competition. I think it's great to have options. It's great to try different things. It sucks when you don't have access to a platform, you know. And if it wasn't for this community, I would probably be getting the PlayStation VR2 now, maybe. I wouldn't have. I didn't have it. I wasn't able to get it. And so I understand that sometimes it can suck, right? Oh yeah, Dee's doing the tournament, the catfish tournament tomorrow. Wish her luck for real VR fishing. What do you win, D? If you win that tournament? Yeah, I would submit, GT, that the Quest Pro has better field of view, but it depends on how you wear it. Like, if you just like, the way that I'm wearing it, it's the lenses are so close to my face, and it's tilted in a way that it brings everything really close, that it gives me a tremendous field of view. But the Quest 2's, going from Quest 2 to PlayStation VR2, there was an upgrade, or a bigger FOV. But I agree, the blacks, the colors, the thing about the PlayStation VR2 that I don't like is the softness, sometimes, in some of the graphics, you know. And it doesn't need to be that way. There's games out there that are so sharp and look so good on that PlayStation VR2 display that they all should look that way, you know. But it's just whether the devs take the time or have the ability to do it. So headsets are. The movie Highlander, no, you chop them off their head and you take the powers. Yeah, I don't know what headset makers are doing when it comes to comfort. That's the biggest gripe about the Quest Pro. Even if you wear it the way they say, it's just not the most comfortable headset. And I would agree, the PlayStation VR2 is not as comfortable as the PlayStation VR1, although it is still comfortable. It's not as comfortable. Um, and it's like they don't take comfort into consideration. If you want to keep people in VR, if you want people to wear it on their head for 5-6 hours at a time, potentially, you kind of need to make it feel comfortable. You know, it's just not. But yeah, I do they make VR covers for PlayStation VR2 yet? Or I need to look into accessories for the Quest Pro. I really need to get that strap Mash was talking about, the top strap, and see if that makes a difference. Because it's not unbearable. It's just not as comfortable as other headsets. Yeah, I actually had the big screen Beyond. I think sadly it's Bradley's absolutely sold me on how good that one is. Just because of form factor and how comfortable it is and everything. My problem with that headset is without the base stations, it's $1,000 and no controllers, right? Um, so if you don't have the base station and controllers, that's a lot of money. But I absolutely think that's the future, to where you can wear your headset and not even feel like you're wearing it. Um, that's the key. So yeah, D, you got this.
You got this, girl. You're gonna rock it, D. I promise you. I just feel it inside.
So yeah, I haven't heard a peep from Wes. I'm like, maybe he fell. Remember that time he fell asleep during the 2020 show? Was it the 2020 show or 2021 show? I hear him now. You out there, Wes? That's good times. Yeah. Well, that's why I like the Bobo VR, Wolvie, because everybody's heads are different, and so like it's one of those things that if you can have different things to make it feel better, that's why the Quest Pro is I love the Halo. It's just if somebody's head is not shaped the same way, there's not any much you can do with it. Whereas you with the Quest 2 and presumably the Quest 3, you can attach so many different things. And I think Bobo VR did such a good job of like really cupping the back of your head and making it feel comfortable. That, with the VR cover that somebody was talking about, I think it was Gamertag, or somebody.
Oh, you
And
know
so,
who loves it when you cup the back of their head and make them feel My
mom. Oh yeah, she does, man. I actually, as soon as I said that, I was thinking that, and
Yeah, so we've got it all worked out here. It's always a technical achievement to get it so that you know what we need to do, Roots. We need to just go ahead and bite the bullet and start playing around a little bit with the Discord integration on PlayStation, because this would be a lot easier to do if we just moved our Discord chat into the console, and that way I don't have to wear earbuds and headphones at the same time.
that's true. Well, and it would only have to be on your end, right? Or whoever's playing, because we would still be in the Discord like normal,
Right.
and you would have it in there, and then you. I think it's a good thing. Maybe we look into that for the next time, huh?
Basically, we just need to test it and practice with it a little bit, so so we're not just like trying to figure it out on air.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good idea.
But I think we are good to go here now, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, what's about to happen is it's going to seem like your stream's going down for a moment, but it's not. We're just switching over from Ruuts' feed in Colorado to my feed live right here from Kentucky. And Roots is still going to be here. He's not going to be on the screen. You're just going to hear his beautiful voice in between tokes as we start to play this game together. But we do have everything booted up, and OBS seems to be working all right. I could probably turn my microphone up just a little bit here. Bear with me just a sec. Check, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2, check, check. Well, it's going to get closer when I put my visor in anyway. So
Yep.
it's pretty good. So I think that we're good to go, Roots. Anytime you want to stop, you are ready, sir.
All right. We're going to go ahead and stop it now.
All right. And
we're
should
live.
be live. We're back. We're back, Roots. We did it.
Oh my god, we're the best in the world!
We indeed are the best in the world. All right, cool. So that worked out well enough. Get over here and sit in my handy dandy chair. You know what the best thing about node-based teleport escape rooms is, Roots? You can sit down and play.
No. Yeah, absolutely. Scion says the Broom VR is the cleanest puzzle game he's ever played.
That better be.
It better be.
All right. Anyway, so again, just a couple of disclaimers right off the top here. Again, we do have another key to give away, a North American PSVR2 key. If you want to enter a chance to win this game, leave a comment down below after the show's over that says you want to enter the giveaway, and we're going to draw a winner on Sunday and give that key away. The other disclaimer is, I'm pretty sure this is, I don't know for sure, but I think this is the last level that I'm about to boot into here. So those of you who are like super worried about getting any kind of spoilers, now would probably be the time to tune out.
We miss you already. Corporate Zombie says the Boom VR is the most explosive puzzle game since Keep Talking and no one explodes. And then Old Darth says Scion at Scion VR, wait till the sequel comes out, the Swiffer. Oh man, we got the puns going on in the chat here, Wes. I like
anyway, wow, this is beautiful. This is what I say every time I load into this game.
Oh, that's just a room, dude. I'm just kidding. Just trying to escape from, right? So this is the last level? Did anybody confirm that?
I think so.
Well, I guess
so. This is like
maybe Wes.
It's like a cabin type place where there's obviously witchcraft taking place. There's a cauldron there. There's like a little, like see the little wooden thing hanging over there. I forget what those are called. So yeah, so
looks like some apartments I've gone into. Little altar to Satan in the corner.
Of course, as soon as I sit down in my chair with my headset on, my dog starts barking and wants through the door.
It's his show.
Brother. Come on, Chad. Fucker. All right. And he had to step on my cable too while I was at it, or it's just to add insult to injury.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is node-based teleport, so you just push the thumbstick in and it shows you the different areas that you can go to. Right there is probably
says, I don't think this is the end, is it?
I don't know. I know that you're supposed to collect 4 relics, and I've got 3 of the 4 of them. So, what I do know is this is exactly where I left off last time when I streamed the game. So, 3 years later, part 2 is finally here. So look at this thing.
Finally getting it done though, right? That's all that matters.
We got some weird potion shit here. Alright, these symbols I'm sure are going to mean something. I'm not going to dick around too much. I can already tell where I'm supposed to start at. It's right here. There we go. The Watcher arrives, blind to their master's shadow, even as the rot of deceit rises off of them like 1,000 burning embers. He deceives them with his promises, but he does not deceive me. What I want, he won't give willingly. The ritual is laid out. I offer freedom, he won't even offer death. Right, and as is the case in every other level, we're going to pull out our handy dandy spectacles. And all of a sudden, this paper looks very different. And again, I told you it was a witch Ruuts. Look at that.
That is, yeah, absolutely. Pentagram.
Okay, so looks like she dumped some stuff into that cauldron over there, as witches do. Alright, so we've got some stuff over there that we can dump. We've also got this little thing here, which looks interesting. Nothing yet. So it's a lot of, when you first get into these levels, it's a lot of just kind of tinkering around with stuff. Look at this contraption. What the hell, man? Can I grab any of this? No, of course not. That's missing a piece.
Zion says this is the least loathsome level as far as repetition goes when he played through this level was.
Well, that's good because I like the other levels.
So this is even better. This is like, yeah, they're brewing something evil in here. Let me stick my hands in there. I'm sticking my hands in there, bro. I don't know what's your... It is snap turning. So it's snap turning and it's teleport. But it's a puzzle game and you're not turning a lot and you're not really moving a lot. So it really doesn't bother me, but like I was still wished it was smooth turn and locomotion.
Oh, what is this?
Oh, you just put them all out.
A fire lighter. How do I have to strike it on something or stick it in this? There we go. Very good.
They had you put it out so you could light them again?
I'm sure that this is going to be part of some puzzle at some point. Some inscriptions on the thing here, even I don't know what they mean. Well, this is one of the things I really appreciate about this game is just how detailed the textures are. Like this looks like an old wooden cabinet would look, you know, with all the scratches, and it was very, very well done. Immersive game. These people have a tree living in their house, Ruuts.
I think
They
that's a little
literally have
weird.
roots.
Although I've seen stuff like that. Houses built around trees or big boulder. There's one lady's house I do where half of her basement is a big boulder. Like I have to climb on this fucking boulder to spray it up and around. Like, what is going on here? What are you doing, lady? Although it's pretty cool. I think it's unique. I don't know if it's as cool as the witch's house, though.
That's interesting. Oh, look, Ruuts! Look at the moon. The moon changes phases. with what I do with this contraption. See out the window?
That's a little bit behind. I'll see it in a second here.
That's fucking cool.
Oh yeah, that is kind of weird. That's crazy. That is, what kind of witchcraft is this?
That's awesome. What that is.
I think if you could do that in real life, you'd really be messing the tides up bad. Can you imagine? Feel like, what is happening? Oh, Wes is just fucking with the moon thing again.
And there's a lot of crap in here, but I still.
Do you, if somebody in the chat is giving suggestions, do you want them or no? Is old
No,
Darth
I
is,
don't.
okay,
I don't
that's
want
why I asked.
suggestions.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
figured.
in fact, for those of you who don't know, this game offers tips, but you can turn them off. So I did, of course. They default to on, but even when they're on, you have to ask for them. Like you go into this little
It's like
thing
a
here.
escape room, right? Where you put your hand up, or, well, I mean, not literally, but.
But there, you would go into this, and there would be a little tab hanging off of it, and you could pull that tab to get hints. But I turned it off because I like to figure this stuff out on my own.
Yeah, it's no big deal, Dart. That's why I asked Wes and at least gave him the option to choose. But I knew he was gonna say what he said because I
Right,
left it on. I left the tips on, but Wes doesn't leave the tips. But if I get to a point where I'm like that stumped where I'm gonna want a tip, fuck it. That's what it's there for. I'll be the first one in the group to raise my hand, and everyone will be like, "Dude, we're still working on this, dude. Like, let's move on. Come on."
So I see on this table here, there's a particular moon phase engraved on the front of it. I'm gonna try to just see if switching this over will do anything for it to match.
Corporate
Not
Zombie
yet.
says it was on the screen though. West can't see the chat, so if you're
Oh
talking
yeah, no,
about,
I don't see the
so
chat at all. I'm
that's,
in PlayStation VR.
yeah. So he didn't have to worry about seeing people's thing.
All right, so I think we have to pour something in the. Oh wait a minute, this is like a different phase of the moon almost. But we've got to pour something in that cauldron over there. I've got to find something to put this stuff in, I think. Or I've got to make
Moonshine.
a potion of some sort.
You gotta pour some moonshine.
I don't think there's anything over here to do that with. I think I'm going to have to figure out one of these puzzles first. Wouldn't that suck if I got stuck on the very first one? So I think I'm noticing that there's these different symbols on each one of these puzzles. Maybe they have something to do with the phases of the moon thing I saw over there. Maybe. Maybe I'm completely barking up the wrong tree. Maybe this is the wrong tree.
Literally, right?
Right. What the hell is this thing? Looks like it turns or something.
It's like I don't know.
We're not off to the best start. I normally can at least figure out where to begin.
Now you're gonna get something and it's gonna click, and then it's all gonna fall into place, right?
That's how it works. You get stumped for something. Is there something glowing over there? I don't think so, actually. That's the way it normally works. You get stumped for like 5, 10, sometimes 15 minutes, and then you notice something, and then, you know, things start to unfold in front of you. Alright, so that is on the left side. Okay, so you want it to be like that to match. Okay. Well, that's weird. The moon completely disappears when I put my spectacles on. Hmm. Alright, so that is interesting. Scissors.
Pull the tip, Wes. You know who loves to pull the tip? Yeah, she does.
The tree is the weird thing. Like, I haven't noticed anything about this tree. I don't even know why it's here yet.
This looks cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's got a node right there. It's got to be something, right?
Yeah, there's something here, but I don't think I'm supposed to be here yet. I think there's something really obvious that I'm missing about those other stations. What was that? I think the answer's in here with this thing, honestly. I just don't see it.
What's up, Void? We're watching Wes try to figure this puzzle
Trying to get
out.
started, right? It's trying to get started.
I'd give you shit, Wes, but I don't know what the hell's going on myself.
So you haven't noticed anything either, huh?
No, I'm trying to, but I mean, I'm just all of that right there. The whatever that thing you just looked at with all the witch's brew. I mean, I don't even know what the hell's going on in all that. It's schematic, right?
Yeah.
It's got all those symbols on all the different thing, right?
That's the thing about games like this is you don't know what actually means something and what doesn't.
Right.
Gotta
Yeah,
be
they have a lot
missing
of
something.
misdirects,
Like
right?
simple. It's always something simple. There's probably something shiny in here that I can see through somewhere that I haven't noticed yet. That happens to me a lot in this game. Something I need to look at with my spectacles on. Either that or there's... I have to somehow use the ability to change the moon phases to do something. Alright, so... Okay. So let's start with this. This inscription here, Ruuts. So we have one that's closed and down. We have one that's open and lit. And then the other one that's closed and lit. So let's do that.
Okay. You got closed, you got open, and then
Aha!
no cover.
We did it, Ruuts.
Is that it?
We got 2 items now. We got an inscribed metal cube. It has some little slidey things on it with symbols. And then we have the jar we've been looking for. Alright, cool.
I think that was the tip that somebody was trying. Darth was.
Yeah, I noticed it. It was like one of the first things I noticed, but I didn't put together that it was an actual clue for the first thing that I should do.
D says,
Thank you, D. That's our show, folks. Thanks for tuning in. All right, let's see if we can use that thing here or if it's over there. No, it's definitely here.
So
All right,
how does it look? Did you ever play this on PSVR1? Probably not, huh?
No, I played it on PC when I played it the first time.
Yeah, me too.
So we need to figure out which one of these we need to dump. I'm gonna see if I recognize one of these symbols from this thing over here. Like, I wonder if that... Oh, that's probably the cube. Or is it? Maybe the cube is the recipe. Like, that's one. That's the second one I'm supposed to take, and then that's the third one. Let's do it that way.
Old Darth wants to know how many puzzles per room.
There's a lot. I couldn't really put a number on it, but one puzzle leads into the next that leads into the next. They all tie together is the way it works. And there'll be separate threads. Like there's normally 2 or 3 different threads of puzzles going on, and you'll have to work one out a little bit and then jump over to another one, which will give you an item that lets you move back to the first one. But all in all, each level, I don't know, 15, 20, maybe more. I'd say each level, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour normally.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start with 1. 1 on the cube is that. Can we find that on here? Yep. Looks like that. Fill it up? No, don't need to fill it up. Go dump it in. That turned it red, Roots. It's spooky.
Red square? Or was it a red jar?
The cauldron turned like blood.
Oh, okay. I see you dumping it in there now. Blood red.
Alright. Number 2 is this. All right.
Science says this game looked great on PCVR. Can't fault it there. What do you think? Better on PC or on this?
In terms of like resolution, it's pretty much the same. Of course, there are advantages to this headset with the OLED panels and the field of view and that sort of thing. Makes it look a little bit
Right.
better on this, but like the game itself is very similar. Alright, so if the cube itself is the recipe, then we should have it here. We did it.
That was easy. Now you're on a roll. Now you're just trying to show off.
Scratched looking glass. Oh, we can see through it. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is
Dude, that
makes a
looks
big
cool,
difference.
man. Like that
Yeah.
when it was making that mirror, that was cool.
Yeah, this is really cool. Holy shit, there's a fucking door. Alright, this is awesome. I found it. It's a bowling ball.
Who doesn't want a bowling ball? Is it a bowling ball or is it a like one of those crystal balls?
No, it's a crystal ball. I was making a joke. What are you trying to show me? Is that going to stay on there now? Okay, good. Alright, I'm going to need that in a minute. Let's go look at some other cool stuff. Like this fucking door.
He wants to know if it shows the future. I wanted to know what I should invest in.
Quest 3.
Quest 3, that's it. It's good.
A door with no handle. Looks like a tarot card that I can't pick up. Oh, I found a new way. Go down there in a minute.
Now we know what the tree is, right?
I don't go there. Shenanigans. Still haven't figured this part out yet. Put this over here. The jar is the wrong shape. Okay. That sounds like a very shapist thing to say.
That is kind of bigoted.
Okay, we have a new
Have you-
letter. We're making some progress.
Have you heard anybody having a blue ring of death on their PlayStation 5?
Nope.
I just had a customer tell me that their PlayStation 5 had the blue ring of death. And I was like, I haven't heard anybody say that.
The PlayStation doesn't even have a ring on it, so
Whatever
they're confused.
however they called it, but
Yeah, I mean, all electronics can have defects, and I mean, there can be shit that happens to any of it, but I haven't
Well,
heard of
you
people having trouble out of their PlayStations. Brian Paul
well,
had
go
some
ahead.
problems out of his headset.
Well, it's just
He had
like
to send it
somebody
back.
could say that Quest Pros have shitty sensors for the face sensor, like as far as like telling when it's on your head and when it's not on your head. If you went by the first Quest Pro I had, and
Right.
you know, but that wasn't the way it was supposed to be. It was fucked up. You know, like you said, anything that's new can have the possibility of being faulty. So
The old fool returned, peddling his contraptions. I take his lens not because I need it, but to continue the ruse. The watcher can have it. They're still blind and will need the sight if they are to complete our work. I know you are here, watcher. This gift is only of use to those who are blind like yourself. Take this lens and follow. We're about to get a new ability, Ruuts. I can feel it.
it's coming. You know who else is coming? Just got one word, Wes. It's moist.
There it is. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to go over here first? Yep. The voices say that the door will open on a blood moon, Ruuts.
Oh God, don't listen to the voices, man. They're lying. They just want to trick you into opening the door during the blood moon, and they'll
That's what
laugh
they-
at you, Wes, and be like, "You shouldn't
That's
have
what
done
they
that,
do.
dude. Stupid
it's-
human." And the demons come out.
Alright, how do we get a blood moon? I know that the demons are probably just lying, but that's what the game wants us to do, so.
Yeah, you gotta listen. You know, our last president was born on a blood moon.
Hey, I wonder if this goes here. It does. Oh, it's
Yeah,
beetles.
always listen to the creepy voices for a good time. Yeah. There's like a 25% chance it doesn't turn out well. 75%, you're good. There you go.
Where did it go? Strange enough.
Hey, you got your beetle. Your little pet. Beetle pet.
Tried to drown it, but it wouldn't let me. But it seemed like the cauldron wanted it.
It did seem like it wanted it.
Oh, it did.
Sucked it up.
It took it, but I didn't do anything. It just took it. Huh.
You know who else just takes it?
You know
She
who else
doesn't
sucks
just
it up?
not do anything. What's that?
You know who else sucks it up?
Yes.
Alright, so we figured out that the cauldron likes beetles. That's something, I suppose.
Is the beetle still alive? I mean, do you still have a beetle? Or is it gone now?
No, it's gone.
Okay.
Alright, so we still have this. But you know, I know where that's referring to, but I don't know that we can do anything there yet. That's talking about this. We can't do anything with that. Not yet. We gotta get a blood moon going somehow.
Yeah, Darth, this is my mom. It's a my mom free broadcast. We don't want to offend any developers out there that might not think it's a good idea to say my mom.
Okay, so that's still not really doing anything for us. Hmm.
So that's changing the shadows too. The moon.
Yeah, I didn't notice it if it is.
Like you said, there's so many things going on. It's like which matters.
I wonder what these little tick marks mean on this thing.
On what thing? On the
On
oh,
the
those
little
scratches.
symbols. No, see, there's little symbols here that are like moon phases.
Okay.
I wonder. shit. We don't have the right size thing for that. We burn the beetles.
Yeah, well, they could. People could be. I think people are watching. Sign says, "I'm surprised this many are watching a puzzle game. That, or they are asleep at their screen."
Oh, okay, I see.
They've been waiting for Wes to find the
I got it.
What'd you get?
You'll see. Figured it
Wait, you're
out
drawing
once.
something.
I'm drawing the picture that was in my crystal ball
Oh,
with my finger on the wall.
I got a another canister.
Yeah, the canister, this one goes to this thing. And I assume this cube is going to give me another recipe somehow. Although I can't really read it. Can't see what it has inscribed on it. Yeah, I didn't mean to come in here. Wanted to go over there. There we go. So does it matter which order I put them in? I don't think so. It must not. It's gonna make me walk back and forth instead of letting me do it all at the same time. gotta say, this is at the very least, this is really cool looking. It's rewarding to figure this stuff out because it shows you stuff that looks nice in the headset.
Yeah, for real.
The other one. Must be on the other thing. It is. There it is. The door handle, son. Boom. What do you think's behind door number 1, Roots?
I don't know. Politician of your
It's
choice.
The void. It's the void. That's what the card says.
Is it the void? Oh my
void.
god.
Oh, it is the void.
Void citizen.
An inscribed metal cube. You have another recipe, Roots.
Getting recipes up the wazoo.
It's like Paladin cookbook up in this bitch.
Yeah. Witch's brew for days.
You recognize this place, Watcher? He regards it as his domain, but like everything else, he stole it from his master. He has had many masters, and he has stolen many things. Together we shall make him pay dearly for what he's done. The doorway is open. The ritual can begin. Drop the letter, of course I did. Okay, that was pointless. Unless the door is going to change when I walk through it. Nope. So this one is for the moonlight. We gotta get the thing just right. The phase. And now we have our recipe. One beetle, one of those, and one of that. See, this is how it works in these games, people. Like, you get stumped for a little while. You tinker around, you look at things 10 times. And then when you figure out one thing, you figure out 5, you know?
It just clicks, right? Bunch of things click in a row. How excited for Gamescom are you? The head bite wants to know.
I'm not excited for it at all because I can't go.
Yeah, well, me neither. So I'm not excited. When is it?
That's next month.
Okay.
Yeah, I just can't. I mean, it's in Germany.
That's, yeah. I don't even know if I would want to travel out of the country, to be honest, at Those things are still a little weird, especially in other
Yeah,
countries.
it is kind of close. But I mean, honestly, I would go, but like I can't. Like I don't make enough money to go to every event, you know,
Right,
especially ones that are in Europe.
right. It's easy if like you're getting sent. If somebody else is paying for it, it's not as bad,
Right.
right?
I've been to California twice this year and Vegas once. It's about my limit. I'm going back to Vegas in January, and then I'm going to go to Boston in March. So you have to pick and choose, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Key with the lunar engraving. It looks almost like a blood moon, Roots.
It is a blood. Probably. Hell. It does look like a blood.
Don't know how to use the key, but we have it now. That did something. Okay, so okay, I get it now. It's all starting to make sense, Roots.
Easy, right? Like Sunday morning.
That's why I'm easy. Alright, what do I do with that? I don't think I have anything I can do with that yet.
Oh.
Alright, fine. Let's do this one. Crimson lens. Wouldn't you know it? Crank handle. Just what I always wanted. And I think the crank handle will go here most likely. Maybe. Yep. There we go. Don't know what the hell that does, but it moves. Blood moon roots.
Blood moons everywhere.
I see the blood moon rising. Alright, so what did it say down here? It said something about the blood moon. Nothing's happening. Quite yet. I don't even remember what it said. I just remember the blood moon part. I don't remember what it said at all.
Where is it? Is it something you can look at again, or no?
No, it's something that it said when I figured that puzzle out there in the basement. So this is set. We got that part right. Can't change it, so we know it's right. Maybe I need to put my lens on and look at this. No. That didn't do it. I think it said something like it would be revealed under the light of the blood moon or something like that. Oh, the key changed. That's interesting. Where do I put it, you think?
You don't have any other keyholes?
Not that I know of. Off the top of my head. Now we have the blood key. Maybe I'll put it right there. Yep. Alright, now we've got it. We're getting there, brother. Boom.
Oh, what is that? A crimson gemstone.
It's a gems and crimstone.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Origins. The voices say for me to bring a relic from the beginning, Ruuts.
From the beginning. Do you have a relic?
I mean, from the beginning. Maybe out there.
The beginning was the mummy level, right? Or they're talking about the beginning of this level, I guess.
Thought maybe they were talking about the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
I don't think they would be talking about the beginning of the level. I mean, I wouldn't consider like the fire starter like to be a relic. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Do you have access to the beginning relics from the beginning of the game?
I don't think so.
Yes, I don't know how. I can't remember how all this works. This like this far in. Oh, I don't think I got this far in actually.
There's nothing that I have on me right now. Maybe, no, it couldn't be it.
What about Fisherman's Tale, Scion? He said his favorite Riven has the best puzzles, then Mist, then Abduction, then Talos Principle. I had a customer yesterday telling me that her favorite game was Fisherman's Tale. I think she's in her 60s.
I think I like
60s,
Abduction better
70s.
than Mist, honestly.
I do too.
In VR.
Yes, I didn't, and I think, you know, a lot of people for Mist, it's their nostalgia of playing through it the first time and then being in VR, and I didn't really do that. And I played a little bit or watched my parents play it, so I never played it myself.
I know what I gotta do.
He knows what he has to do.
He's got this.
Figured it out, Ruuts. What happened? I just heard something move. Oh. I see. Got the first part. Oh, the gun.
You have a good night. She's gonna crash. She's had her limit of spoilers for this game. I think I might have to crash as well. I'm supposed to get up in about 4.5 hours, almost 5 hours. Or four. I mean, yeah. I don't know how much more level you have, but
I don't know. I feel like I'm getting kind of close. But, who said it was? Did you say you were
yeah,
going or D? I didn't hear what
yeah.
you said.
D's going to bed, and I said I probably should go to bed as well because I got to get up and I've got 2 McDonald's I have to spray for bugs. Well,
Oh, that's
preventatively.
cool. Yeah, I'm
But
almost done. But, yeah, have a good night, man.
all right, everybody have a good night, and Wes, have a good night, and we'll see you next time. See you later.
All right, man. All right, later. Talk to you soon.
Later.
All right, so I'm trying to figure out what number to set these to. And I'm noticing that these symbols here are on this carving over here. And I think maybe if we count the number of symbols on the carving, that's the number we set it to. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And the other one, I see 1, 2, 3. Boom. An Egyptian relic from the beginning. Boom. Just like that. Easy peasy. All right, I'm gonna take just a second here and grab my phone so that I can read the chat. I guess I can take these headphones off now too that Ruuts is gone. Be a little more comfortable anyway. Headphones off. It's as if a great weight has been lifted. Oh crap. I'm about to drop my microphone. Let's just put these headphones down, the chat on my phone, and polish this game off. I feel it. We're getting close, ladies and gents. Still 30 people hanging out. But not that many people afraid of spoilers. Thanks for hanging in there, Wolveraza, Geisen, Old Darth, Scion. Good night, D. Cool. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Guess I should go on live chat instead of top chat. There we go. Good to go. Alright, have a good night, Old Darth. Alright, I think we are ready to proceed. Wait a minute, I gotta find that sweet spot. You know, I never actually checked my IPD. Just something that you should always do every time that you go into PlayStation VR is check your IPD. Because it changes a lot. Yeah, see? Well, I guess it's not that bad, actually. It's pretty close to what it normally is. I'm gonna keep it right about there. Yeah, cool. We have to take it over to the thing over here, maybe? Oh, so the puzzles get more difficult as you go. I mean, not that they've been particularly hard at all yet. Oh crap, I went the wrong way with it. Maybe. And I guess that doesn't count. You can't cross your own path. Alright, so let's think about this then. Can I go across ways though? Like... Yeah, we'll do it like that. Bring something that was lost. Oh wow. Alright then. What did I just unlock? Oh, I know what I unlocked. Think maybe this is the thing that was lost? Only one way to find out, I suppose. Yep, that's it. That was almost too easy. The tower. Take light from the tower, say the voices. The voices, they're telling me. Connect the dots. Ah, da, da, da. Yeah, I was thinking that Wolferaza. Something that was lost in the beginning. My mom's virginity. Lighting and textures. I mean, yeah, it's a very good looking game. It's a very good looking game. It's nice when you have a 3-4-year-old game that you can come into and it holds up. But that's the kind of the weird, like, position of VR. Like, and again, I don't want to get off on the whole, you know, like, I don't mean to diminish the impact that Quest has had on, you know, keeping VR gaming alive by, you know, providing developers a way to make money in the early days. But in terms of the overall quality of games, games were better before Quest came along in terms of production quality. They just were. So it's not uncommon to get into like Like 4-year-old games typically look better than 2-year-old games. You know what I mean? And that's just weird. It's a different place than traditional gaming's in, that's for sure. Okay. Okay, I see what I'm doing. That change? I just gotta take them in the order that it gives it to me. Right, I see 1, 2, 3 of them. Where's the 4th? So weird. There you are. Boom. Yeah, Scion, hang in there, man. I mean, it might be a while before we get back to the days of, big budget PCVR games. But I do think that in the short to midterm, you've got some great things coming your way in the form of mods. And in the mid to long term, I think some of what Sony brings to the table will end up making its way into PCVR at some point as well. Just like with the flat games. And Ratchet and Clank just came out for PC this couple days ago. I picked it up. We're gonna reshade it because apparently it works quite well with reshade. Take this artifact to him. He will believe that he is won, that he has bested us both. Once he abandons you, I will open a path to the source of his power, and together we can turn it against him. So I thought that might be the case, where the person who's putting us through these trials may turn on us or something. Find out. Degeneration X. Da na 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 na. There it is. The final relic. We did it. The doorway is open. Alright, spoiler warning, ladies and gents. I have a feeling we're about to see the end of the game. Well done, detective. That hedge witch had no idea of the power she was toying with. It's fortunate she was the only casualty of her ignorance. Now we have this final artifact. Our great work can begin. Summon me with this letter, and I'll free you from your task. The white doorway is open. We can't leave him in possession of something so dangerous. I will create a path for you now. Follow it to the end and find a way to bring him back. He must answer for what he's done. So I guess he did abandon me like the thing said he would. Cool. An abandoned excavation camp in Egypt. A third week with the expedition and no one has recognized me. Nobody suspects a lowly porter. The fools continue to search on the wrong side of the valley. They found something, and for a moment I thought they beat me to the temple, but it was just a burial site. Let them fawn over the gold and trinkets. It will distract them from the real treasure. At last, after all this time, I've finally found the temple. It has waited for me for millennia, buried safely under the tons of sand. Extraordinary the power emitting from the null, for it exceeds that of anything I've witnessed before. The tether is holding firmly. I've begun to take in my apparatus. You know who loves to take in your apparatus? temple is a remarkable construction. Even after days spent exploring its passageways, it never ceases to astound me. It is simply breathtaking. I discovered several card symbols which match a recess on the wall in the main chamber, though nothing happens when I place them. Perhaps I'm missing something. I must come back here, I would imagine. Just want to take a moment to take in the beauty of this level. It's nice. What my friends in chat think about it. Top man. All right. Wow. I thought there would actually be something to that. I just go walk downstairs and grab one. What's your fool? Later just floats through the door. You have done well, Watcher. The old man's gamble failed, and his masters have collected their debt. Justice has been served, but we must remain cautious. There are many who would try to harness these forces. Now that your eyes have been opened, I hope you continue to see. Be vigilant, detective. Oh no, they took away my glasses. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We have completed the Room VR. We did it with no hints, and that's quite gratifying. It was fun. It got tough a few times, you know, as puzzle games should. But you know, it just takes a little bit of patience, a little bit of perception, and a little bit of tinkering, and we can find our way through it just fine. Anyway, I want to thank everyone who hung out with me tonight and stayed up to watch me do that. No spoilers in chat, right? Thanks, Sion. If Quest 3 brings up some of the older stuff from PSVR at Quest 3 only time, good. You know, I think it would be a good thing if Quest 3 is capable of running those older Oculus exclusives, if they were to get a rebirth on a new platform. So, like, you know, bring back Wilson's Heart. You know, bring back, what was the name of that? Was it Chronos? There's a bunch of these really good games that have just gotten lost, you know, over time. That really should come back. Cool. Well, again, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks, Corporate Zombie, Wolveraza, Geisen, Recycled, Scion, of course. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with me this long. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Leave a thumbs up. If you'd like to win a copy of this game on PSVR2, just leave a comment down below, and we're going to draw, like, in about, I don't know, 36 hours or so, roughly, give or take. So just leave a comment down below, and maybe you could be playing this on Sunday evening just for yourself. Anyway, with that said, friends, I'd like to thank you all once again for watching. For my good friend Ruuts, I'm Wes. We'll see you in just a couple of days. Bye now.